folks, for part 4, our little final thoughts of big episode 10.
I feel like this is like a Jerry Springer thing. He does final thoughts on his show.
He does too. Well, something new. We can't do the same thing every week.
That's right.
We gotta change stuff up.
Absolutely.
So, anything final thoughts you have before I get going on my rant here?
My final thoughts have to do right now. I'll probably feed off a little bit of what you had to say, but
Probably will.
My situation that I'm going to be talking about is TNA.
Okay.
And it's not. I'm not loving on TNA. That's for doggone sure. I just feel like, okay, if you want ratings, you want people to watch your show, you want people,
live.
You want people to buy your product, you want people to buy your pay-per-views, then you need to go live. You don't need to be putting on. And you know what I think would be a great thing to do? This would help them. I think this would honestly help them. Okay, they need
stop copying WWE.
That too, but they need to go live. They need to go live with all their episodes, and then say, I understand not doing as many pay-per-views. Look, WWE started out not doing as many pay-per-views, and so did WCW, and that's fine. They shouldn't have started out doing 12 pay-per-views. They should have started out slowly and built up. So, you know what? It makes them look dumb. They had to go backwards. But you know what? They can still work with that.
That does make you look dumb when you have to go backwards.
They can still work with that. What they need to do is they need to build up these regular shows, and then every 2 to 3 months, they need to do their version of a Clash of the Champions. That's what they need to do, and it'd be live, and it'd be a 3-hour episode.
No.
That's what they need.
To go with what you're saying there, yes, they do need to go live, but they need to do what Vince used to do. Raw used to be only an hour. Condense it down to that's a lot of TV time that they're not really getting any big kickback from.
Well,
they should make it live just an hour every week, and then build to, like you said, and make it a 2-hour show.
Okay.
Their big show. But then you condense more stuff into it, more action, not much backstage stuff, and you can get through with it, and you can build, and it shouldn't cost you as much either doing an hour show compared to doing a 2-hour show or a 3-hour show, whatever it is now. They keep trying to catch up with Raw.
Yeah,
so is it 3 hours now?
It's 2 hours, but at the same time,
till after WWE ends up signing with USA, staying with USA Network and everything. Then Spike will move them up to another hour. Yeah, 3 hours for TNA.
But see, here's my thing though. I'm okay with the 2 hours because they'd have to fire a lot of people.
They need to. That's what you need.
I understand that.
Start that way. Fire some of the people you're not using. That's what WWE needs to do.
I understand that.
If I don't see somebody working on main event, NXT, or freaking Superstars or Raw or SmackDown, your ass ain't sitting at home unless you're injured.
I understand that, but the thing is, they are using, if you go on their roster, they are using 90% of their roster in TNA. But the thing is, it's jumbled up. When they film all these shows at one time,
so you can't really go that route then. When they film 8 shows in 2 days, you're going to use a lot of people in your roster.
Right. They need to slow down. They need to film. They need at least live every other week. At least live every other week. WWE used to do that with Raw every other week.
They started doing that, yes.
They need to go live every other week and lead to a Clash of the Champions type of event, so that way
that's their pay-per-view stuff. They're not having on pay-per-view. They have on the show.
Right, but the thing is, they do it live, but they only do it for 2 hours. It feels like another episode of Impact.
Right, that's why you got to change something, yes.
Exactly. They need to build it up and make it look like something bigger.
The regular show either has to change an hour, or their special events
needs to be 3 hours.
Needs to be 3 hours, yes.
It just needs to be just like
a
pay-per-view.
But it needs to be freaking more wrestling than talking.
You can't sit there and say, okay, we're going to have a live pay-per-view on television for free, and it be 2 hours, because guess what? Your pay-per-views that they pay for are not 2 hours. So give them make them feel like they're actually getting something.
Now, if you're getting 2 hours of more wrestling, or without commercial, well, hell, with commercials, because you can wrestle during the commercial break. If you're getting an hour and 45 minutes of wrestling action and then 15 of talking, okay, that kind of feels comfortable.
Right.
But if you're doing 2 hours and you're only getting like 3 matches,
right,
and that's supposed to be your special event, then you feel cheated, even though it's free TV, even though it's supposed to be free TV.
But they need to go back and they really need to build up the divisions that brought them to the dance, and that's the X division, the tag team division, and the knockouts division.
And change the ring back.
They did say something about bringing back the 6-sided ring.
So we'll see.
We'll see when they do it.
Hey, if TNA stays on Spike, when the new season starts, I would hype for the new season coming up, and I would get ready. I mean, because you already filmed some in advance, so if you're filmed at that point, you have enough time to change stuff and pretty much hit the reset button. I mean, you ain't gonna set the reset button with titles, with the title holders. They can still be the same people, but change things up. Time slots, action. What you gonna do? You know, this hiding in the background like no one's supposed to be there. That was pretty stupid. I mean, you know, we know what's in the backstage. We know there's a cameraman standing there.
Yep.
So is that pretty much your final thought? Or you got some more rip stuff to do?
Pretty much.
Well, mine is toward John Cena. And it's not a bad thing toward John Cena. It's pretty much what they're doing now with John Cena. Only it'll be stretched out a little bit more. Because right now you have Daniel Bryan. I think they're going to screw this up. Now that he's got the belt, they're going to probably screw it up.
That's what it's looking right now.
But what they need to do is let him keep it until next year's SummerSlam. 2015 SummerSlam. And drop the title to Rusev.
Okay.
Who will be undefeated. Make sure he stays undefeated, and also make sure he is the United States / Intercontinental Champion. That gives enough time for him to take both belts and unify them, which what they want to do. Then you're down to just 2 single titles. Have him do that. You do the Russian thing, the foreigner they hate in America. You just go spit on the American flag. I mean, it was great. When Sergeant Slaughter did it with Hulk Hogan. And back when Iron Sheik was it, and Hogan come in and took it off him. You can have that again. And if John Cena John Cena is the Hulk Hogan, start being more American, John Cena. Fly the flag.
I think they're too afraid to go the whole way with the Russian thing because of being politically correct.
That's a bunch of... See, that's what's...
Look what happened to Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah, and well, we understand. That's right around... Hey, that's bad... That's just... Things happen.
It was bad timing, but you shouldn't have taken him off TV for that.
You shouldn't have lost your job for that.
No.
I mean, I can understand taking him off TV. You kind of want people to forget about it, and you bring him back. But hey, things happen. It did work. And that could be another... You want to use that? That could be another final thought for another day. But with Rusev, he could beat Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam in 2015. Carry the belt that way. You could... And then, since he's the world champion, he can't have the Intercontinental / United States title. So you drop it. He gets to take it off. You give another person that belt in a tournament. And you build from SummerSlam 15 to WrestleMania of 2016. To where John Cena, Mr. American now, Mr. USA, you can have the Russian versus USA. And if you make Rusev look like he can't be beat, even by Superman himself, John Cena...
Do the Goldberg thing.
Tear him through... let Rusev tear through everybody. Yes, he can be the Goldberg thing.
Destroy Big Show. Destroy Mark Henry.
Yes, make him look like he cannot be stopped.
Yep.
Even Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Brock Lesnar loves losing everybody now when he comes in.
Pretty much. Because he's making a big paycheck. So he don't care.
And you can have that at WrestleMania. You can have you can have USA.
So you're basically saying... between Rusev, Daniel Bryan, and John Cena having it be the 3 of them for pretty much 2 years.
Well, John Cena, after Daniel Bryan would get his rematch after a couple of papers,
right. And there'll be people, other people in there for Rusev to beat. So it's not going to be all 3 of them, but I'm just saying those would be the main 3
Because
guys.
Right now you're looking at he would beat Wade Barrett. He'd beat Sheamus.
To get both belts, right?
Yes, and you have people coming in. Cesaro, he could beat Cesaro. They face Cesaro. He could beat Roman Reigns. Sure. Big Show, like you said. You can make him look unstoppable, even for John Cena.
Yep.
And you could even have him beat John Cena.
Yep.
Or beat John Cena down. You think John Cena's going to win, and he still doesn't get it.
That's true.
There's a way to work around stuff, and that's a long, drawn-out storyline. I know this day and time, people's attention spans are like 5 seconds.
But the thing is, back in the 80s, they had Daggum Hogan the champion for 4 years.
Yes.
Maybe not 4 years, but they could still pull off a long-term thing. CM Punk pulled it off for over a year.
Yes. It's the way if you write crappy, I don't care who it is. It could be John Cena. If you write crappy for him, yeah, it just seems right. But you write it good.
It's all on how you do it. you could pull it off with the right people and the right stories.
Because who's the hero? John Cena is supposed to be Mr. Hero.
Yep.
Who is going to come and save the WWE?
Get a John Cena red, white, and blue shirt. Red, white, blue shirt. There you go.
Yeah, that's the
He's
same.
done all the colors. He's done all the other colors. Why not?
Yes, I mean, and he could come out. You can have Rusev about to burn the American flag, and who can make the save?
There you go.
John Cena.
There you go. In honor of Putin.
Honor of Putin, yes.
Which everybody's upset about. You know what? It's called a storyline. It's a soap opera, pretty much. It is just like you when you go watch a movie.
And what you throw the curve here, John Cena doesn't win the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
The man who wins the Royal Rumble gets destroyed by Rusev.
So
and they have to put him in there.
Yeah.
He wins the mini battle royal, or how about Elimination Chamber?
He
wins the Elimination Chamber.
The
that
winner
puts
of the
him in
Elimination Chamber is the number one contender. There you go.
And you have enough time for him to take a beat down from Rusev.
There you go.
To where you don't think he's going to make it, and he still makes it, and number one for USA.
Comes in with bandaged ribs.
Whatever,
everything.
yes.
Yeah.
And it can work.
Yeah.
I believe it can work.
And this guy don't even like John Cena.
I don't like John
Cena.
Cena.
Putting him over.
I'm tired of John Cena.
Put him over.
But he is Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan was Mr. Red, White, and Blue. And John Cena could be the same way. He needs to start.
That's been so many years ago. They could pull that out of the hat again. They haven't really done that story in so long. They recycle all the other stories, so might as well use that one because it definitely worked.
Yes. It worked with Sheik. It worked with Slaughter when he was Iran. And it would work now with Rusev. But you have to write it right.
And it would have worked with
You can't write it crappy. Yes, it would.
It would have.
It would.
People got so upset.
You've got to forget about political correctness because that'll kill you.
And that's what messes that company up because WWE's a public traded company. They want to make all their stockholders happy.
You don't have to go out there and a black guy and call him the N-word.
Right, you ain't got to go that far. But when it comes for country against country, you want storylines.
When's the last time we had a flag match?
Exactly. You want storylines that can be relatable, that people get into.
People love the USA. Number one USA.
Okay, I understand they love Bray Wyatt, but at the same time, a cult leader thing is not relatable to most of the audience.
Right.
I mean, it's a good story.
And John Cena's got the dog tags. He salutes the military.
He's already got it.
It's perfect. You have the Russian guy who should not be beat. He shouldn't be touched by anybody. I don't care who they are. And he beats Daniel Bryan because he won another title. We had a title versus title match at a big event since Ultra Warrior and Hogan.
It would be just like that.
So you have him beat Daniel Bryan, which I love Daniel Bryan. I hate that, but he's going to lose the title.
Eventually, he's got to lose.
But that gives him a good. Gives him a long reign as champion.
But it's all on how you do it. If it ruins his career or not when he loses the belt, it's all on how you do it.
Yes, but if they could write the right way, then they would write that way for him, where he wouldn't look. You know, I mean, if you're getting somebody who can't be stopped, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Daniel Bryan's got to be destroyed in that situation.
Yes.
But at the same time, they do all these storylines for John Cena where there's a screwy finish for him to lose. They could do the same thing with Daniel Bryan. Somebody else could come out there and interfere. Daniel Bryan's next storyline feud, and he could come out there and end up making it where Rusev wins.
Yeah, because John Cena has a lot of when he loses, a lot of screwy stuff going on outside.
So like this
past pay-per-view. You have the Wyatt, the Kid. Yeah.
If they can do it with
I'm
John Cena, they can do it with
I'm going out the door. I'm shoving this kid out of the way. I'm going to win this match. What does he do? Back in and gets
It's not like the kid was going to eat him or something.
I know.
The kid was going to chop him up in little pieces. Push the kid out the way and go on with yourself.
I believe the last two.
I'm so scared of a child.
Not sure, but I believe the last two times John Cena lost cleanly was against CM Punk
and Daniel Bryan.
And against Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Which,
any other time, it's been something.
And that's great.
Happening.
You know what? That's great that he put them over, but at the same time, you could be putting more people over.
He needs to lose. Yeah, he needs to lose a little more.
Cleanly.
It's not going
Randy Orton loses cleanly.
Yeah, he does, and I don't like Randy Orton. I don't like Randy Orton, but I do appreciate him doing that.
Yeah.
If you want the company to grow, you have to put other people over.
Yep.
If they can beat you, that makes them look like a legit main eventer.
That's it.
If they can't beat, they can beat Kofi Kingston, but when they get facing you, they beat you down in the last 5 minutes. You come back and you kick their ass. That doesn't make them look that legitimate.
There you go.
So you have to. John Cena has been to the mountaintop long enough. It's time for him to step down and take a few ass whoopings for the company that he so-called loves, is what he says.
I mean, think about this. Now,
I'm not trying to go storyline here, but it kind of looks like Bray Wyatt's right. John Cena just looks out for John Cena.
Yeah.
He's not looking out for the business
But
that he's supposed to love.
look at how Vince McMahon used to run the business. He's not
Yes.
running it like this now. But just,
I don't think Vince is having too much of a say so. Anything
I understand
now.
that, but just look at the past in the WWE, and hold out before you say something. Just
Okay,
look at the past.
I'm gonna look at the 2 years because we're going over. We're fixing to be over because I know y'all be bored to death.
Look at Piper. Look at Macho Man. Even Kurt Hennig and Hulk Hogan. Okay? When Piper's time was up in Vince's eyes, when Macho Man's time was up in Vince's eyes, and when Hennig's time was up in Vince's eyes, what'd they do? They sat down in that commentary booth just like Jesse Ventura did, and Gorilla Monsoon, and all those other wrestlers, Jerry the King Lawler. When your time's up, you sit down at the commentary booth like JBL. Okay? They didn't feel like their time was done, so where'd they go? WCW. Okay? Hogan. Vince said, well, it's time to move on. It's time for the new generation. So, what's Hogan do? Oh, I'm just going to take my ball and go to Hollywood. And then he goes to WCW. Okay? My thing is, why don't we see an ending for Johnson? I understand he's still young. He's still young enough to keep going. But at the same time, he's young enough and old enough at this point, really, too, in his career to start stepping backwards. And still be fresh.
Oh, yes.
Still go backwards.
And put people over. Because you get to the point to where, what if something major happens to John Cena?
Yeah.
What if he dies in a plane crash? What if his neck gets broken and his career's over? Then you're scraping, oh, I got to build this guy. I got to build this guy. I got to have my next John Cena.
Build him while
you
John
should
Cena's
build
still
John Cena now, a new John Cena, when you have John Cena's here.
Exactly.
Because you can't, I've seen this many times on a football team. You have one star. He goes out, your team goes to crap.
Mm-hmm.
And WWE has been too big, and that's maybe what their problem is. They think they're too big and they can't fail.
Yeah.
Let John Cena, who you put all your eggs in one basket into, let him go the wayside longer than 3 months.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
Because you don't build anybody up. You make sure they lose to the mighty John Cena. And that's what's wrong with a lot of things. You should be happy to have, I have 10 John Cenas instead of 1 John Cena. And I have so many people, I can't put them all in the main event that people want to see them. Instead of, I just have him. Oh, well, I need, WrestleMania's coming up. Can Brock Lesnar come back? Can this guy come back? Because I don't have no stars to make people want to buy WrestleMania. Yeah. Oh, I have John Cena, though. But let me just bring all these other people back. And that's a problem with a lot of things WWE does. I love the company. I've been a fan since WrestleMania 3. But you got to let the company grow with new people. Because these same old people ain't going to be here forever.
Yep.
And if you don't have anybody, but you start, and that pisses me off more than anything. You say, okay, they're starting, and then they just kill them. Why'd they kill Zack Ryder? He was over with the fans. Yeah, he started his own internet thing before WWE started about all this text and Twitter and all that. He was there.
It was him that started that for the WWE.
Yes, when his thing took off, then they started following his bandwagon, and I guess you heard a few little feelings. So, but if the fans love you, then you should be there.
Yeah. But they bought his merchandise, they loved him, keep him on TV.
But if Vince and them don't love you, it's like, well, I don't care what the people think. It's what I think. And I want John Cena here, and I want this guy here. I want Brock Lesnar back because back in the early 2000s, then when Brock Lesnar was big, let's bring Brock back. Yeah, Brock's good. People love Brock, but
Vince would have the money if it wasn't for the fans.
Right.
So.
Well, that's it for my final thoughts for today on part 4. It's part 4, huh? I lost my time.
It's part 4.
Part 4, episode 10, a big episode 10.
If you don't like long episodes, you probably didn't watch this one.
Yeah, this is a long one. We're going to put on there, too, this long, when you can see the timing. But we'll be back next week for episode 11. As we take our steps, one step at a time, to big episode 20.
That's right. And I'll be talking about my trip to North Carolina.
You're talking about your trip to North Carolina? He's going to get drunk. He's going to be...
I ain't going to do it.
Probably have women all over the place. That'll be them story. I hope you make it back.
I'll be making it back.
Okay. We'll be right back. We'll be right back next week.
Yes. For episode 11.
For episode 11, this is episode 10, our big 10.
Mike Hogan, Justin Carter, and we will see you.
Look for us on Twitter, Facebook, right on YouTube.
That's right. We'll see you next time.